Yo, once again it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Kens TV and the House Like Kitchen Sinks. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment, share, subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean? So anytime I bring you this heat, this action, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive it. Now with no further ado, let's get into this afternoon's video, if you will. I'm going to keep it all the way real with you all. I'm on one today. You know what I mean? You know, I've been looking through all my comments in regards to Jay Williams. And there's just, it's a whole lot of love. It's a whole lot of positivity. But a whole lot of hating going on too, man. And the hate is starting to spill over to Real Kens, as though I'm just going along with whatever happens with Jay Williams. Oh, if he killed somebody, I guess you'd be on here supporting him too. You know, that really it really tickles my fancy, to say the least. Pause. Double pause. Really makes me laugh. So, let me share a brief story with you all. I'm not going to keep you too long. Let me share a brief story with you all. Allow you all to enter my world, my past world. And maybe you will better understand where I'm coming from. When you see me make these reaction videos, when you see me make these videos in support of Jay Williams, I make several other videos. I talk about prison. I talk about hip-hop. I talk about just, you know, some of the things that are trending. But I typically keep it, you know, prison, hip-hop. That's the focus of my channel. But nevertheless, like I said, I'm on one today. So I'm fighting back, in a sense. But I'm fighting back with love. Not hate, love. Because I love each and every one of you all that take the time out of your busy day to tune in and watch Real Kens TV. Because you don't have to. You're much appreciated. That's why I go out of my way to respond to every comment. Now, I may not get to every comments because the comments are, you know, sometimes there'd be a whole lot of comments. But, you know, I try my best. And when I can't, I at least come on and try to make a video to, you know, address some of the comments and questions that people ask me. So, with that being said, several years ago, I was charged with a criminal syndicate. Now, a criminal syndicate is organized crime. You know, in the state of Kentucky, 5 or more people basically committing a crime on a continuous basis. Committing crimes on a continuous basis. Now, in the feds, it's known as the RICO Act. But in the state, it's called Organized Crime Criminal Syndicate. In the state of Kentucky. The Commonwealth of Kentucky. So in my indictment, it was 14 people. They superseded my indictment, which means they bypassed all of the district court process. Now, when I say the district court process, typically you're arrested, you're arraigned in district court, you have a preliminary hearing, which the judge basically just waives your case to the grand jury. The grand jury presides over, you know, the circumstances of your case, and they're going to indict you. 9.9 times out of 10 you're getting indicted. Because once you're indicted, that doesn't mean you're guilty. It just means that a crime could have possibly taken place. Doesn't mean that you're guilty, supposedly, but it means that there's enough evidence to believe that a crime possibly could have taken place. So in my case, actually I had two of these, to be honest. They superseded it. They skipped the whole district court process, went straight to circuit court. Circuit court's the big court, felony court. I know that you all that have been through this, you already know, but, you know, I have to make it clear to everyone. I want everyone to clearly understand me. You feel me? So, I get to circuit court, and when I enter the courtroom, it's like 15, 16 different individuals. I'm looking around in the courtroom. I know maybe 3 or 4 people. The rest of these people, I've never seen a day in my life. I'm looking at my attorney like, I don't know this person, I don't know that person. Who is this? Now, at the time, I'm in custody. Maybe 2 other people are in custody. Maybe 3. 2 to 3 co-defendants are in custody. And everybody else is in street clothes. All the people that I don't know, for the most part, are in street clothes. So I'm baffled. I'm looking around like, what is going on? My bond is $34,000, straight cash. Once again, in Kentucky, whatever your bond is what your bond is. You don't get an automatic 10% reduction. Now, the judge has the authority to give you a 10% bond. He has the authority to allow you to walk out on your own recognizance. He has the authority to allow you to sign out on a $4 bond. He or she, let me state that, he or she, no disrespect to the women judges or anyone, has the authority to allow someone else to sign you out. It's called a surety bond. So, here I am, I'm in the courtroom and I'm looking around, and they have me as being the ringleader. Nothing cute about this, nothing, not bragging, nothing like that. Because I hate that it happened. They have me as being the ringleader. Again, imagine, I'm looking around, I don't even know these people. I only know a few people. So, as the case moves on, you know, they obviously won't reduce my bond. The prosecution stands up and says, because my attorney, you know, he addresses the court respectfully, and he's asking the court for a bond reduction. Like, Your Honor, you know, everyone else is out. The other couple people that are incarcerated, their bonds are nowhere near what real Ken's bond is. So we just gonna say real Ken's. That's what they, you know, no one else's bond is nearly as high. I sit in the county jail for like 8 months fighting the case. They never would lower my bond. Every single time I go to court, we ask for a bond reduction. They wouldn't do it. I don't have a court-appointed attorney. I had to pay my attorney 10 grand just to take the case. If it goes to trial, he wanted another 10. There were so many people on the case, and you all that have been through the system, especially the ones that have been through crimes in cahoots, because that's what they call them, crimes in cahoots. You know I'm not lying. There were so many people on the case that they couldn't assign everyone else to legal aids, court-appointed attorneys. So they started giving people pro bono attorneys, real attorneys, pro bono. But yet I had to kick 10 grand for my attorney. Heck, if I had known that, I just wouldn't have initially hired an attorney. and got my attorney pro bono, because it's a what do you call it, a conflict of interest, if you will. If you have several different attorneys that are all in the legal aid office together on the same case, you get what I'm saying? And on a side note, don't mind this Bengals hoodie that I have on today. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, but you know, I had to throw it on because I have to cover up where I work at. So this was the closest thing to me. So I threw on the Cincinnati Bengals hoodie. But I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan for life. 2-0, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seen what we did to the Jets yesterday. But at any rate, let's get back to the topic at hand. We'll talk about them Cowboys. We'll talk about them Cowboys later on. So everybody else is getting pro bono attorneys. I done paid my attorney 10 grand. And every single time I'm going to court, I'm noticing that it got to the point I'm the only one incarcerated. The other guys who were incarcerated initially with me, they were out. So I'm the only one. I get my motion for discovery. Motion for discovery means you're allowed to supposed to see all the evidence that's going to be presented against you. Any videos, any audio, any written statements. A lot of times the prosecution, they'll try to hide some of the, motion for discovery. They don't want your attorney to see everything. So as I mentioned, every time that I go to court, they're saying that I'm a flight risk. You know, he has the means of raising several $1,000s in a short amount of time, and he'll flee. Now, this is all, correlating to what Jay Williams is going through. Because when he went to court, I'm quite sure, I wasn't in court, but I'm quite sure that they said he was a flight risk. He wasn't going to show up for court. He has the means of raising several hundred thousands and thousands of dollars. He's a successful businessman. He's a successful YouTuber. So, Your Honor, we strongly object to any sort of bond because we just don't believe that he's going to come back to court. Like, they talk like that. Just like you see on Law and Order. Dun, 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 dun. Mr. McCoy. I can't stand Mr. McCoy to this day. He's always going to be Mr. McCoy to me. If you all have watched Law and Order, which I'm sure you have, you know exactly who Mr. McCoy is. I can't watch him in any other movie, any other show. I can't take you Mr. McCoy. And you trying to hang your man. So, getting back to myself and my situation, every time I go to court, Your Honor, we strongly object. And I'm like, I'm whispering to my attorney. I really want to, bust out and be like, Your Honor, this is some BS, man. And you know it. But you can't do that in court. You gotta keep your composure. I've never missed a court date ever in life. Never. Maybe traffic court 20 years prior. I've never missed a court date. You feel me? So how you all gonna all of a sudden say I'm a flight risk? Wouldn't let me out. One day the judge tells me, you know what, real Kens, feeling pretty good today. So I'm thinking to myself, I done been in jail at this point a good 7.5 months. Asking for a bond reduction. I'm telling my attorney the entire time, I don't know these people. I know this one, and this one, but I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. So the judge is like, I'm feeling pretty good, Mr. Kens, and, I'm looking over your reports here, and I'm looking at, so I'm going to reduce your bond today. Your lucky day. So I'm thinking he's going to 10% me. You know, I get out, you know, $3,400. We asking for $10,000 or less. He gives me a $25,000 bond. Good luck. Good luck, real Kens. And they take me out of the courtroom. $25,000. Well, you might as well kept it at $34,000. So I sit in there maybe another week or two. Next thing you know, good old moms comes and gets me. Cashier's check, $25,000. I'm out of there. My attorney sees that. Now he wants. That's where the additional $10,000 came in. If I didn't mention that, I know earlier I said he wanted $10,000 just to take the case, but he wanted another $10,000 because he seen that $25,000 bond. That's why I tell you about these lawyers, man. Lawyers are crooked. The more money they think that you have, they're gonna try to bleed you dry. I understand that. I'm not making it up. No offense to you lawyers out there, but the truth is the truth. Maybe, perhaps it's not you, but a lawyer will bleed you dry. So that's a different video for a different day to tell you all how I handled it, because I definitely handled it. Yeah, I definitely handled it. He acted like he wasn't going to continue on my case. And I done gave you 10 racks. 10,000 for you all that don't know what 10 racks means. And I'm out now. You know, I have to call you on the jail phone to where you have the option of accepting my calls. I'm out. John. You know what it is? It's Kens, man. I done called you 4 or 5 different times. You're not responding. This John thought he was going to take my 10,000. So I had to go see John. We had a serious talk. We had a serious man-to-man, heartfelt talk. And to say the least, everything was worked out. You dig? So I'm out. I'm fighting my case. I'm doing everything that I need to do while I'm out on bond. They're offering me like football numbers. Well, we offer you 33 years today, but you have to take it today. 33 years. I look like Boo Boo the Fool. I'm some dumb, but not plumb dumb. 33 years. I don't even know these people. The message that I'm trying to get across to you all that think that just because the police report says this, just because the screen says that, when you look it up online, a lot of times the charges is vastly exaggerated, to say the least. They charged me with organized crime and said that I was running a continual criminal enterprise with these people that I've never even met. But guess what? In the Commonwealth of Kentucky, that's not a defense to say that I don't know this person and I don't know that person. So for instance, if I did a crime, and this case is old, so I can talk about it now. I've done my time, I've been home, it's old, it's an old case. But if I've done if I do a crime with, let's say I do a crime with Billy. Just me and Billy. And then I do a crime with Todd. A month later. I did a crime with Billy in January. Then I did a crime with Todd in February. Then let's just say in March, I do a crime with another individual. Then let's just say in May, I do a crime with another individual. No one has met each other. The crimes don't even have anything to do with each other. They were individual acts. What the police and the detectives will do is they'll come along and say, okay, well, you did a crime with Billy. You did a crime with, Todd? You did a crime with Todd. Then in March, you did a crime with this individual. Then in May, you did a crime with this individual. And then they did crimes with other individuals. They'll tie it all in together and say that you all are one big illegal conglomerate. You don't even know these people. They're saying, okay, well, you all, as though you all sat at a round table and mapped out some plans to do dirt, to do crime, and to break the law. And so they'll present you as a ringleader, the big fish, head of the snake. Well, yeah, I've done some crime, but I ain't do crime with all these people. I did a crime with, a couple different individuals, and it wasn't continuous. It was every once in a while, once a month. How's that continuous? But they'll paint a picture to the judge. Of course, the judge goes right along. So now you find yourself in a criminal syndicate, organized crime case, in which they present it to the feds. Thank God the feds didn't pick it up because it was a very, very, very weak case. But you end up pleading out to it because guess what? Even though I know that I could go to trial and possibly beat it, do I want to risk getting a life sentence when I can plead out to this 11 years? Do 20% of the 11 years, which is 26 months, and then go up to the parole board and have a chance of going home? Or going to trial getting life? Or going to trial at the very, very least getting convicted and having to do 10 years straight before I even have an opportunity to come home? At the very least. You got people lying. You have people writing statements on me that I've never met. I've never even talked to. You got people saying, yeah, Real Ken's, he gave me this counterfeit. Because at the time, that's what I did. At the time, I don't do it now. Wouldn't dare do it. But at the time, that was my MO. Yeah, Real Ken's, he gave me this counterfeit, and he gave me $3,000, and he told me to bring him, $2,000 back in real cash, and like all type of things. And I've never even talked to these people, communicated with these people, never ever a day in my life. Yeah, there's a couple people that I did my dirt with. I'm not sitting up here saying that I'm innocent. I was guilty, but I was guilty of doing individual transactions with these individuals. These other people, I don't even know who they are. I've never even dealt with them. The courts makes it like, oh, well, he was just going around recruiting homeless people and he was basically they were saying I have the gift of gab. He can influence to do things. He's gifted, with his words, and these are the things that they're saying in court. Not in those exact words, but basically that's what they were saying. And I'm like, I've never met. And people was getting on the, signing statements saying, yeah, when the time came and he was supposed to give me $1,500 or $1,000 or $500, he only gave me $100. And I'm like, wow. That's when I really, really understood crime is not worth it. You don't even have to be able to prove it. Just if you have enough people saying it, you're not going to win. You got 1 or 2 people saying it, and that's dangerous. You may have an opportunity. You got 10 people all saying the exact same thing, and 9 of them are lying, you're going to be forced to take a plea deal. Because you go to trial, you're going to get your head knocked all the way backwards. You're going to get your noodle pushed all the way backwards, rather. So I say that to say, all of this relates to Jay's situation. We don't know what's going on. Just because a police report, just because the records say, that doesn't mean. If you really listen to what I just told you all and explain, you'll understand it's about a conviction. It's about, a person's past. Getting this individual that we feel like shouldn't be on the streets, off the streets. Hopefully, you have a better, even better, if you will, insight on how the criminal system works. That's just how it works. Now, for you all to say, oh, well, stay out of the system, well, that's obvious. But if you happen to find yourself in the criminal system, understand that it's not fair. And that's where money comes into play, because if you have the amount of money, the proper amount of money to hire the proper legal team, experts, you know, all type of different people that can help your case, then you have a chance. You have a chance. But just because you have money doesn't mean that you're always going to win, you know. But you have a fighting chance. You have a legitimate chance. You don't have no money, you got to deal with illegal aid. I've been sitting in jail 6-7 months and I ain't seen you one time. Then you pop up right before my court hearing and you're like, oh yeah, well, you know, the prosecution, I got the prosecution to come down to 10 years. And man, you don't even know my case. You don't even know my side of the story. We haven't even talked. That's how they play you, man. Now, I like to apologize. I got a little, you know, I was a little energized, more energized today because, you know, some of these comments, man, they're just really starting to, they're never going to get under my skin, but I just feel like, okay, you say this, so I'm going to come back with that. What are we doing here? I got stories for days. And they all support Jay Williams. Not saying that he can't be guilty. Not saying I was guilty. But I wasn't guilty of what they said. I was guilty of a couple things, but they, you know, they did the most. They took it from here, something small and minute, and took it to, you know what I mean, to the next level. Created a narrative about me. So now the judges, they're looking at me like, well, Real Ken's, he's responsible for over $400,000 in counterfeits, and he's personally had 2 stores that had to shut down because of his actions, and they couldn't no longer stay in business. Real Ken's didn't do that. See, people's always trying to save themselves. So therefore, when you're trying to save yourself, you're going to say anything to get yourself out of the situation as though you're a victim. No, you was a criminal just like I was a criminal. Now, I'm not saying that's the case in this situation, but I'm just simply saying, don't believe everything that you see and read. I'm sorry I went a little overboard as far as time. Typically, I don't stay on here as long, but I want to give you all the real truth. See, there's the truth, there's a real truth, and then there's the real truth. And this is the real truth. Share my video. You know, some people say, well, you know, we feel like you should have more subscribers. We feel like you should, you know, reach more people. You got to share my videos. If you desire to. Comment. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Of course, like the video. Hit that post notification so anytime I bring you this heat, this action, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive it. Real Ken's TV, Jay Williams, Let's Live Life. You know what I mean? Supporter, The Bridge, letting you all know what it really is. You know, shedding light to some of the things that Jay can't really say that he wants to say. That's why I call myself The Bridge, man. Real Ken's, aka The Bridge. Because I'm going to let you know exactly what it is. Real Ken's, man. Share my video, man. Let's enlighten the world. Let's enlighten the world on how things really work in the justice system. Until next time. I'm going to go change this shirt immediately, man. Cowboys for Liz Life. I holla.